How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And I wanted to make a video for the individuals who currently are struggling in their business, or maybe they once had success and it's slowing down, or maybe the success just isn't coming through and it's just a challenging season. Maybe you just got a crazy tax bill and it's like pretty much the entirety of your account, or you have a very important team member who's leaving you, or you have, God knows what, you have a client that's really important to the business and they're deciding that the service wasn't good enough and they want out, or they want a refund, or who knows what, or maybe it's just been a slow month or a slow quarter or a slow season. Either way it goes, I want to make a piece of content that serves the purpose of helping you navigate a challenging season of business, because it's very easy. The industry, the marketing industry, the coaching industry is they're very focused on the successes and how to create more successes. And I found, one of the conversations that just doesn't happen in my industry because of that, because everybody's always looking for how to rapidly scale. They never have the conversation of how to navigate slow, dangerous, like walking on eggshell seasons of business. And so I wanted to tell you how I've managed to do it in a very short piece of content. And if you want more videos on this topic, just let me know. I've been through the ringer. I've built a multiple seven-figure business, and I'm only 22. I'm getting married in like 35 days, 37 days, something like that. So got a lot going on in my life. And I find that it's very important during seasons where you've got a lot of moving parts, where you've got a lot of things on your plate, to focus on what is called first principles. Now, what are first principles? Well, every single day, let's look at it like this. Every single day you make a series of hundreds of little decisions. You've got a lot of little decisions that you make every single day that then stack into creating the future that you're pulling in with those decisions or those actions, right? And, for my clients, we've helped over 11 people get to $1 million a year. And every single one of them, pretty much without fail, had at some point a really tough season along the way. And this is what I always told them. I always told them, look, you need to focus on the first principles. And what are the first principles? What are first principles in general? And then I'll get into what the first principles are for this business model, which is an online coaching business. So I'll talk about it like this. A first principle is basically the foundational idea that guides all of your other decisions. And a lot of the time, our first principles are actually, we just leave them up to the wind. We let our first principles land on our lap based on our environment. We don't actually take time to think about what our first principles should be based on our goals and based on what we want our reputation to be and everything. But we actually just let a set of first principles just arrive. For example, when I was first getting started in business, my first principle was to make as much money as possible. That was it. And now today, I obviously have that as a principle, but equally as important is to, get our students incredible results, because I know that if I do that, the money will follow. And, so first principles are basically the guiding light that you use to make decisions. Like, for example, if you've watched any interviews of Elon Musk, his first principle is every single decision is put through the lens of, does it get us closer to or further away from having a civilization on Mars? That's like his singular top focus, right? Is having a civilization on Mars. For example, Jeff Bezos, his singular focus, his first principle is what serves the customer, to the tune of, when you cancel a Prime subscription, I believe they give you a refund on your past 3 months of Prime services without even mentioning that anywhere. If you cancel your Prime subscription, they literally give you a refund, which they don't mention anywhere. They don't promote that. It's just a very customer-focused, very kind, over-the-top thing to do, and they do that at scale. And so they have the customer in mind. So what are your first principles, and how do you use them to help you guide through complex decisions? Well, first of all, you want to pick first principles that serve the long term. And so for me, I found that the first principle of, for example, getting my students incredible results, that is like a great first principle. And also maybe another first principle could be telling the stories of students that are succeeding, which you can probably see me doing more of on this channel, right? I'm just interviewing more students and sharing their results and everything, which is always a great place to come back to when I'm in a time of a lot of moving pieces in my life. So there's that. There's also the first principle of, profit first. So I set aside a certain amount of money that I keep as profit, and then I use the rest on the business. So profit is the first expense off my list. Another first principle of mine would be, personal growth comes before business growth. So I don't always look in the business for solutions to business problems, but I actually look inside of myself for those solutions first, because often it's me who's the bottleneck. So these are just some of my first principles. You need to come up with some of your own and let them guide your decisions, because odds are probably right now in the season that you're in, you're watching this video because you're going through a hard time. The title is like, if you're struggling right now, watch this, or something like that. And I just want to encourage you that right now it is your job to essentially boil down what right now is the most fundamental important principle, right? And it could be something as simple as like, if you're in a slow season, maybe you just haven't put out enough content. Maybe you haven't spent enough on ads. Maybe just this is the basic thing that you missed. And that's causing the hard season. But either way, I want to remind you that you should be making your decisions from a very clear, simple place. And often I find that I've arrived in one of those seasons of complexity and scarcity and frustration, or there's too many moving pieces, or things aren't going that well, when I've lost track of my own personal first principles. So sometime today, take some time and write up what are the first most important things for my business to not only exist, but thrive 3 to 5 years from now. What's the most important thing? If I had to only do one thing, what would it be? And for me, it's probably just ensure that my students get incredible results. That's it, right? And then after that is to tell a story of students that got incredible results, right? And after that, it's to build a online program and have formulas and strategies and everything that consistently generate more and more results and better our product and everything. And then I'd say after that, it's making sure that our marketing is up to speed and we have a consistent stream of inbound consults to feed the business. So that's probably the next thing. And after that, it's making sure that my team loves their roles and everything. So it's like I have a list of priorities, right? And a lot of people, they simply don't think these things through. So if you're going through a struggle right now, you're going through a hard season, get back to your first principles, get back to the things that might have initially helped you have that success that you've forgotten, or invent a list of first principles and enact them into your business today, right now, okay? Hopefully this has been a valuable video for you. Just a quick, simple, short reminder. Don't lose track of the first principles. Keep them top of mind. Allow them to reflect themselves in your decisions and inspire your decisions, because otherwise you have no basis to make decisions off of, which just makes the whole mess way worse. So hopefully this has been a valuable video, and I'll see you in the next one.